Welcome back to Twisted and Mysterious. This is part 2 of the podcast. Enjoy.
The best. So he says that she was fighting him the entire time, so it sounds like she had a pretty violent and horrific death. And then he just left her there because he's a disgusting excuse for a human being.
Yeah.
So he didn't stop with the confessions, though. In her interviews, he is a self-proclaimed serial killer, and again, just needed to talk. So, McGray says that after killing Gail, between 1985 and 1987, he drifted from the east coast of Canada to the west coast, just kind of bopping around. And on November 1987, he was back on the east coast, specifically in New Brunswick. On November 4th, McGray claims that he and two friends, Mark Gibbons and Norm Warren, that didn't roll off the tongue very well, decided that it would be fun to rob a cab driver. So again, just regular Saturday night activities.
Just things you choose to do on a slow night.
Yeah. So Gibbons gets into the front seat of this cab. McGray and Warren get into the back. And when they get to the destination that they told the cabbie to take them to, Gibbons pulled out a knife and told the cabbie that they were robbing him. So I guess the cabbie, started to reach for something in his jacket or something, and Gibbons stabbed the man in the hand. And then I guess they freaked out, and they all got out of the cab and ran away. So luckily, this one did not end in the cabbie's murder. They, I guess, ran away in the direction of the Market Square Mall. The cabbie called the police. They come out. They're looking for these three guys. At the same time, a janitor finds the body of Mark Gibbons, who had been stabbed once in the chest. Remember, he's the one who stabbed the cabbie in the hand. The police didn't find the other two guys, but they also didn't even really know who they were looking for. And the next day, McGray and Warren called the police to report their friend Mark missing. And the cops are like, we aren't falling for your ruse.
Right.
So they traced the call back to an apartment on Germain Street and arrested Warren and McGray. In 1998, when he was doing all of his confessing, he admits that he murdered Mark Gibbons while the men were arguing over the botched robbery. However, at the time of the murder, he told police that it was Warren who had murdered him, and Warren had already been to prison once for violent crimes, and so they were like, well, yeah, that probably was him. And he was tried, but he was acquitted of the murder, but he was convicted of robbery and sentenced to 11 years in prison. McGray was sentenced to just 5 years for the robbery.
Okay.
So in 1991, while he was still imprisoned in a minimum security prison in Quebec, he somehow got a 3-day pass to visit Montreal for the Easter holiday.
I never understand that.
I don't know if prisoners are still given passes to leave prison, but I was just like, whether they believed that he was innocent of the murder, he still participated in an aggravated robbery.
Yeah.
They were trying to rob a cab driver at knife point.
Yeah.
And so, still seems a little violent, but, whatever. So, he was told he had to check into a halfway house in Montreal while he was on this vacation. That Saturday, March 30th, he visited a gay bar and struck up a conversation about hockey with a 59-year-old retired school teacher named Robert Astley. Astley invited the 26-year-old McGray back to his condo where they drank and watched TV. In his confession, McGray says he fell asleep on the couch and woke up about 6 a.m. He took a knife from the kitchen, went into Astley's bedroom where the man was just getting dressed for the day.
Yeah.
And told him to lay on the floor. And Astley, laughed because he thought McGray was joking because they had been, palling around the night before. And this made McGray angry. And he hit Astley over the head with a lamp and then stabbed him 16 times in the chest and throat.
That's not overkill at all.
So, again, just regular Saturday night activities. But, I guess technically this was Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So.
Just what you do before you eat your Wheaties.
Yeah. So, he claims that he grabbed a bottle of alcohol and then calmly consulted a map and headed back to the quote-unquote gay village. Robert Astley was found 8 days later by his brother Rudy. Sunday night, so I guess we're on Easter now.
Okay.
He meets a salesman named Gayton Ethier in another gay bar. And they chatted about a hockey game that they were excited to watch. This one's for Amy. So apparently it was the Montreal Canadiens versus the Quebec Nordique. It was supposed to be a good game.
Yeah.
I was just thinking the Montreal Canadiens, like, imagine your mascot is just one of your fellow countrymen.
Yes.
Whatever. So Ethier invited McGray to his apartment to watch the game.
What does he do when he's in there?
I don't know, jumps on your bed or something. So they hung out on the sofa bed, drank wine, watched the game. McGray claims that Ethier made a pass at him that McGray refused, and so Ethier was just like, meh, whatever, and went to sleep. Mm-hmm. He said that he stayed up all night watching this guy sleep. Like a freaking creep.
Yeah, not creepy at all.
And at 6 a.m., again, 6 a.m., I don't know, smashed a beer bottle over Ethier's head and then stabbed him with a knife from the kitchen. Ethier apparently woke up and started fighting back. And McGray says that he stabbed him multiple times to ensure that he was dead. Then he grabbed a bottle of wine and split.
Well, that seems to be his MO.
Yeah. And so, remember, he was only on a 3-day vacation from prison. Mm-hmm. So it's now Monday morning and he's supposed to be back. But the honor system doesn't work when you're working with a dishonorable person.
Right.
So he left Montreal. And McGray was arrested a couple of weeks later. However, they had no idea about the murders. Mm-hmm. So I guess he was still released on time, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
From his 5 years that he was serving. Mm-hmm. And then from then until 1998, he was once again just bopping around the country. And this is when he hooked up with Tammy and then eventually brutally murdered Joan and Nina.
Right.
And he was arrested for the final time. So after a 60-day psychiatric evaluation, McGray was determined fit to stand trial. He didn't end up going to trial because he just pled guilty to Joan's murder. Mm-hmm. The charge for Nina's murder was stayed. This just means that they put it on hold, but they didn't dismiss it. And probably the only thing I could think with that is that maybe because there wasn't any real evidence that could conclude which of the men killed her. Mm-hmm. He was sentenced to life in prison with the chance of parole after 25 years. I'm like, please don't let him out.
Well, I was already going to say, don't you like stories about bad people who end up doing terrible, terrible things because they don't get put in prison for long enough?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
it seems to be a common theme in a lot of these stories is bad guy goes to jail for not nearly as long as bad guy should go to jail. Then bad guy gets let out of jail and does even worse things.
Yep. Well, so like I told you earlier, McGray was a self-proclaimed serial killer. I love that he just was like, so I'm a serial killer.
Yes.
I'm like, says
Let me
who?
toot my little horn here.
I'm like, you're a dork is what you are. An evil dork.
Evil dork, yes. There's a distinction there.
But I'm like, why? Like, who just goes, hi, I'm a serial killer? Like, I don't know. It just seemed really stupid to me. He told police that, this is what I was telling you a minute ago. He told police that he would confess to 11 other murders that he allegedly committed in Canada and in the Seattle area. But he had some conditions. He wanted immunity for the crimes. He wanted immunity for anyone else that he implicated in the crimes. And he wanted psychiatric help to help him deal with his overwhelming need to kill. And the police basically were like, we don't negotiate with terrorists. And they refused his deal. I mean, maybe get him the psychiatric help.
Right.
But
in a facility for the rest of his life.
Yeah, exactly. So when I was listening to Dark Poutine, one of the guys was like, what would it matter if he had immunity or not for the other crimes because he was already serving a life sentence? But they were saying that he probably was afraid of getting extradited to the United States where there was the possibility that he would get the death penalty. Mm-hmm. And so maybe that was why he was asking for immunity for the other crimes. So after verifying facts of Gail Tucker's, Robert Astley's, and Gayton, I don't know how to say his name, Ethier's murders, McGray was charged with their murders, and in April and May of either 2000 or 2001, just depending on the source I looked at, he pled guilty. He was sentenced to 3 additional concurrent life sentences at a maximum security prison in New Brunswick. And there's more.
Oh, good.
I know. But wait, there's more.
Oh, wait.
So, is it still going?
I was just checking.
I know. I'd always forget to look at it. On November 22nd, 2010, the prison went into lockdown looking for a metal bracket that was missing from a ping pong paddle. And so I guess when they go into lockdown, they lock all the cells. They do a count of the prisoners.
Right.
And then they go do whatever, like they're searching, whatever they need to do. So after the lockdown ended, Michael McGray calls the guards for help, claiming that his cellmate wouldn't wake up. And they found 33-year-old Jeremy Michael Phillips quite dead. He was face down, cold, and rigor mortis had already set in.
Mm-hmm.
From what I could tell, this lockdown lasted like an hour.
Right.
So there's no reason why this guy, I don't know, maybe. Because he claims, like, he admitted that he killed Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
But he claims that it happened after, like, the cell count, which was only like an hour before. So
Yeah.
I don't know why he would already be so dead.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it was cold in there or something. I don't know. Hot in there?
I don't know.
You would think I hadn't read 1,000
Right.
books. But
I
anyway.
think we know more about dead things by now.
So again, he did admit to killing Phillips. He claimed that he claimed he killed Phillips, that he forced the man to lay down. He bound his hands and feet with bed sheets that he had shredded. He blindfolded Phillips, shoved a sock in his mouth, and then strangled him with a bed sheet. He was then moved
For
to
funsies.
Saturday night activities. I actually didn't look to see what November 22nd, 2010 was. Let's look. Because all the other crimes were Saturdays.
Yeah.
Like, literally they were. Let's see. What day of the week was November 22nd? Oh my gosh. That one was a Monday.
He had a case of the Mondays.
That's it. He was then moved to St. Anne de Plain Institution, which is said to be the highest security prison in Canada, and he was not given a cellmate this time.
Yeah.
So in addition to all of these crimes, Michael McGray also claims to have kidnapped and murdered 15-year-old Kimberly Ann Amara, who went missing from St. John, New Brunswick in September of 1985. However, police searched for her where Michael claims to have left her, and their search yielded nothing. Kimberly's still missing, and her case is still unsolved. He also claimed to have killed unhoused people and sex workers, but I don't know that he's ever named names, and he probably doesn't even know names. And you know that police often overlook those crimes, so I don't think anything has ever been tied to him as far as those go. He was also looked at as a suspect in a couple of murders that were initially believed to have been connected to the Green River Killer in the Seattle area and Robert Pickton in Canada, but I don't think they ever had any evidence to prove those definitively. And that's the horrible tale of a man I'm ashamed to share a birthday with.
Yeah.
Now I have some trivia for you.
Hopefully he has a terrible birthday.
I hope he has a terrible birthday, too. I hope somebody shinks him with a toothbrush in the leg.
Yeah.
Anyway, trivia. You want some
Oh.
trivia?
I mean, sure.
Do you know which astrological signs have the most serial killers?
Well, I'm gonna go with Cancers,
Okay.
but I don't know.
So, according to an article on Stylecaster,
Scorpios.
there are 4 signs. 3 of them surprised me. They are Cancer, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Scorpio.
Yeah.
So these 4 signs make up almost 40% of known serial killers. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, the 3 water signs, account for 28% of killers and 27% of known victims. And so apparently we water signs are dangerous creatures. I had no idea.
I know.
I would think Gemini.
Right.
But Gemini and Taurus combined make up only 11%. Capricorn has more total victims on average than any other sign, about 800 people. Virgo has the least number of victims. And a quote from Stylecaster says, "Many people who follow astrology likely won't be surprised to find Scorpio at the top of this list, given that the sign's biggest weaknesses include violence, manipulation, and jealousy."
So I went ahead and added Scorpio.
Yeah.
But...
Similarly, Pisces may be prone to allowing their outer emotions to run out of control.
I was going to say, we're pretty emotional.
While Cancer may feel isolated as they are unable to blend in with the world around them. And Sagittarius approaches life with no filter on their words or actions. And if anyone is wondering how they arrived at their numbers, they said that they gathered a data set of 485 serial killers with known birth dates and used the FBI's definition of a serial killer, which is a person who commits 2 or more murders in separate events. The end.
The end. Well, that one was relatively short compared to some of our last ones.
It was. Yeah. Not fun.
No.
But short.
So, update.
Hold on. Look at the lizard.
I know. I see her.
She's so sleepy. Okay, update. Sorry.
My button maker is supposedly in New Mexico now.
Whoa. I'll believe it when I see it.
Exactly. It still says expected by the 13th, which is a Sunday.
That is a Sunday. So unless they're, like, doing the thing where they're like, we're so sorry, here you go on Sunday.
We're going to bring it to you anyway.
But I can't imagine because they aren't sorry for anything.
No, they're not sorry about anything. But yeah, it's still... But I'm just trying to figure out why it would still be expected by Sunday when it's in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Like, just bring it over here.
Because does UPS stuff have to go back to Texas before?
Mm-mm.
I didn't think so. So wouldn't it just be here, like, tomorrow?
You would think. I mean, I know they probably, like, go to Albuquerque to, like, sort.
It's already in Albuquerque.
And send things different ways. But usually once it goes to Albuquerque, it comes straight here.
Yeah.
There have been times when I'm just like, no wonder shipping charges cost so much, because you'll have something that ships from, like, California or Arizona, like on FedEx or UPS, it goes clear across New Mexico to Dallas.
Yeah.
And then comes back to Albuquerque. And I'm like, you were already on that interstate going through that town. Why didn't you drop it off while you were there before you went to Dallas?
This one went from Memphis to Oklahoma to New Mexico.
Mm-hmm. I guess we'll see.
I guess we'll see. I'm just annoyed with the post lately.
Mm-hmm.
It's been more trouble than it's worth.
Usually. All right. Well,
Well,
we have social media.
we do. We have several social medias.
I think most of them are twisted and mysterious.
Yes.
I think
Threads, Twitter,
Twitter.
X, whatever you want to call it.
I steadfastly still call it Twitter.
Yes.
I
think most people do.
What did I tell you? It's Twist Miss Pod.
Yes.
And I think Blue Skies is different too, because there was like a character limit on the thing there.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a link tree and you can find all of our things there.
All of our thingies on our link tree.
You can even find a link to our TikTok that we do not post anything
that
to.
we have yet to post anything to. We'll work on that in the future.
Yep.
We're tired and overwhelmed.
Always.
Always.
Okay, so anyway.
Once we get past this week, and then the next one,
Yeah.
and then the next one, and then the next one.
Yeah. Next week I'll catch up. Until I don't.
Yeah.
We have email.
Yes, which we finally got an email. I mean, I know we already talked about it, but I'm just saying, like, we finally got an email.
Twisted and Mysterious Podcast at gmail.com. I was looking at our map.
Okay.
We don't have any penguins yet.
No.
But I was noticing that there is a large landmass that doesn't have any dots on it.
Mm-hmm.
It is the landmass known as China. China has like a billion gazillion people.
Mm-hmm.
You would think like one of them would listen.
And we have like Singaporean listeners or
Yeah.
whatever.
Singapore. We have a New Zealand.
I just mean as far as like Asia goes. Like,
Yeah.
we've got like
Pakistan.
Singapore.
Yeah. But yeah, none of the billions of people in China. It was weird.
All right, step it up, China.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Trump's tariffs.
Yeah, probably.
Let's see.
I wouldn't like
Where
us
else?
either. I don't like us.
Greenland
honestly.
and Iceland also. So, Greenland, don't be mad at us. We didn't send JD Vance to your country.
No.
So, if you want to listen to us, you can. And I think that's everything. Is that everything?
I think so. I think we're a little boring this week.
Yeah, we are.
I'm tired.
Yeah, well, we're always tired.
I know, but I'm like extra tired, and I just kind of feel meh.
Yeah. My head is hurt like every day this week. And it hurts right now. Which people probably get sick of hearing me say that.
They're probably like, hey girl, go to the doctor.
Right. And they're probably like, hey girl, take a nap.
We do. They don't help.
They don't help. Alright, well, that is all.
There is something seriously wrong with us.
Now, who wants to put money on whether or not Faren writes a story for next week?
It may not be the one that I've been planning on writing because I don't know how far I can get through this old Scottish text.
Just ask David Tennant to help you. I'm sure he's available for these things.
I don't understand what happened in the land of language. Like, alphabetically to begin with, why there were letters that we used to use that we no longer use.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can understand getting rid of them because they were pointless.
Yeah.
But why did we use them to begin with? There's like this thing that looks like an F, but it's an S, but they also use an S.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if it's two S's next to each other, it'll be the F thing and then a regular S, and I'm just like...
Well, FFS.
And then, like, Scottish people wrote things...
Maybe it's just FFS.
Yes. But Scottish people wrote things weird, like, they used a lot of QUs in place of W, because they wanted... I think the website that I was reading last night when I was trying to figure out what this one word was saying that they wanted it to be, like... They wanted it to be known that you pronounced it with a different sound than...
Could you, like... I know that I talk about ChatGPT a lot, but could you, like, copy and paste it in ChatGPT and see if she could translate it for you?
I can't copy and paste it. It's a picture of a document.
You can upload documents to her.
But it's a picture of many documents because they're old documents.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting here trying to translate
You're gonna
Old
be fluent
Scottish.
in Old Scottish. Does Old Scottish have a name?
I don't know. I just know it's not Old English because they're Scottish.
Yeah. Is it like Gaelic or something?
I don't know because it's not like another language. It's English.
Mm.
It's just
Yeah.
spelled and pronounced funny. And so, like, they spelled the word devil Divell.
Okay.
And...
So maybe it's just somebody who spells really bad.
Well, and I wondered that too. I mean, because you have to also take into account the literacy at the time. And so I'm trying to get through all of these weirdly spelled words. But like I said, the Q thing is a thing. Because I found a website when I was trying to figure out what this word was. the word ended up being witch, but it like witch thing, not like a spooky witch.
Oh, too bad it wasn't a spooky witch.
But like it ended up being the word witch, but it's spelled like, and I'm gonna screw this up because I can't remember because it's so weird. But it's like Quuhilk or something like that. And I'm like,
Quilk.
I'm like,
Totally.
that clearly says witch.
Absolutely, it does.
I understand that says witch.
Yeah, of course it does.
What else could it say?
It's exactly what it is.
But apparently it's not a matter of misspelling, it's how they spelled the word.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I found a website that was explaining some of it, but it was also hard to follow. But I was just like, wow, this is very convoluted. And
maybe you could have Bear read the website and he could translate it in the same way that he tried to teach me how to solve a Rubik's Cube earlier.
yeah, I would get nowhere because nothing that came out of his mouth made any sense.
But maybe he would understand it because he understands not very good instructions.
Yes. But anyway, so I may be saving this story for a later date and coming up with something else because I got really overstimulated and overwhelmed and I was just like, this is too much. I can't do this. And I went to bed.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else.
Yeah. So, penguins and social media and people in China need to listen to our podcast. So, barring anything else, remember that people are gross and don't get murdered.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.